Alcohol plug is different because those will not produce bone. Yes, the collagen. Yeah, it's 100 milligram, and you can cut into half. You can do anything with it, and I want you to play with it. It is very versatile. It is sticky and it sticks together. You see that? See that? You can press onto it. You press. Alright, it's spongious. It gives you volume. This is very important. You play with it. And then the next thing is that
and then could you find pass to the pink color filter?
boleh. After we play. You see, actually 100 milligram is a lot, you know. It's quite a lot. And if you play with it, where's the other one? Play. I want you to play with it. This is very important, you know, because in your clinic you have to play with this. Then next, yeah, you see that how it doesn't run around, yeah, it doesn't run around, and it sticks together, right? You see that? Okay, even if we leave it after 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it stays. It doesn't melt down or something like that. No, it doesn't. You see that? Now, I want you to do this, girl, since you're right in front of me. Okay, I want you to take this up. You don't have a forceps, and you put it into the lubang. Okay, and I want you to see how simple it is. Put it in, and pack it in. You see, even 100 milligram is enough for the big socket. You see that? You see that? I think put a little bit more. Put a little bit more. You see that? Then this use a lot of this. We sell hundreds of these a month. Hundreds. The material. Okay. You can put the whole piece there. So basically it stays, it doesn't run around. This is very, very important. Yeah. And the next thing I want to play with is Bio-Oss. This is the small granule or 0.25 to 1 mm grain size. This is not a powder, it's in grain. I want you to see the characteristic of Bio-Oss. You don't have to put a lot of water, you just wet it like that. Yeah, just like that. And I want you to see the material. It is sticking together, right? It doesn't run around. And if you can, maybe you can just put into, where's the model? So for the study models. Severe burial. Alright? Look at the impression. I want you to place okay, now you understand this, huh? Okay, we dig it out. Now we can dig it out. We cheat a little bit. You see, it is very stable. It's still very stable. Look at that. It's still very stable. Now, assuming we finish and done with the extraction socket, okay? Now I want you to play with this. I want you to play with this. It's very stable. Even after so long, it doesn't break down anything. Now, can the nurse get a forceps? We do it properly. A forceps? Do you have a forceps? A tweezer.
Can I add in parents?
Add what?
Can I add in some information?
Yes.
The Bio-Oss does not absorb completely. Some of it will remain there. That's why it gives
Volume. Regenerative. Correct. Prof. Tara. Yeah, absolutely correct. Because I also asked Professor Boozer the same thing. So a lot of people who are doing this crowns and bridges, they do extraction sockets. So they place in Bio-Oss and it stays there. So it is not that it's going to collapse or it's going to what they call that resolve after some time. No, it stays there. The volume stays there for a long, long time. That's what Professor Boozer was saying. All right. Okay, good. Do we have a tweezer?
Yeah, he went to
Coming.
take it. Yeah,
You want to do it properly, I don't want to pick it up with my fingers, you know? Or these two or this. Now, assuming that we are looking at a perio defect like this, first thing you need to do is to take up this collagen. Okay, I'll show to you. We wait for it. And then we open up the bio guide. I was telling you this bio guide is very interesting. I want you to feel it before the tweezer comes in.
Terence, that one is just Bio-Oss.
This is the Bio-Oss collagen. This is Bio-Oss, yeah. The rough surface is the collagen. It's a bilayer. The world only bilayer membrane for the past 40 years. The only one. The Koreans are so good at copycat, they can't even copy this. The Americans, the Germans, the Japanese, they cannot copy this for the past 40 years. They don't know how to do it.
This
Okay, after
collagen
let me see the strength of pulling it, you know. Can you can no, now it's dry, you know, Puma. When it's wet, I want you to feel the stretching part of it, you know. The science of bio guide.
Can I have the model?
What? Which model?
This model.
This one.
Mucograph.
which one is the
What is on the tray?
Okay, the collagen is the rough one.
Bio-Oss.
And you see this one?
Collagen.
This is the smooth one, and you can see up is written up. UP up. Yeah, UP up is where you're supposed to put up. Yes, where the flap comes down. Yeah, exactly. The rough is always with the bone. The rough is always with the bone. Because the moment you have the collagen that is directly interacting with the bone, it is going to give you an expedition of regeneration. Yeah? So the moment you have just a normal membrane means a normal whatever they have in the market, some kind of pericardium from the horse or from the pig or from the cow, you find that it's only a barrier. Somebody asked me about the PCR. Can we use PRF as a membrane? I tell them no. Don't be cheated. Some people are selling this machine. They say it's from your blood. You're going to get a membrane. It's all bullshit. Why? Why is this? What is the membrane for? It resolves within 1 week. When it resolves 1 week, how can it be possible to help you be a barrier for the next second and the third week? That's the most important crucial period during the regeneration phase. The epithelial tissues grow so rapidly. What is resolved? Oh, the membrane 2 months. Yeah, 2 months. You need at least 8 to 12 weeks, depends on the situation. Yeah, of the mouth. Yeah, so it's enough. It's enough for you to start regenerating bone. It's enough, you know. It's enough for that. Teresa is still not around.
Coming.
So again, for the PRF, please take note. You don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars buying a machine like that, drawing blood from the patient and then fractioning them all. Please don't do it. Then they will tell you the worst part is they will tell you, bro, you are going to save long-term money from buying a membrane. What is bullshit? What a salesman. How can these doctors just believe something like that? Yeah. Well, there's no difference if you ask me. The collagen, because if you want it to have easy handling, like for example, this case. You look at this case. There is a depression over here. Instead of putting this, say it's a very big defect. I'll pretend it's a very big defect, right? We will pick it up, and it stays there. You see that? You see what I mean? It doesn't run around so much. It stays there as the first part. All right. Then next thing, you will then pick up your Bio-Oss, assuming that you need extra Bio-Oss or extra bone. I want you to see the effect. Yeah. You see that the Bio-Oss is not so versatile like Bio-Oss collagen. it tends to run, you see this? It tends to run around like that a little bit. It's not so stable like the collagen. So therefore the dentist just look the collagen just a little bit because it stays where it's supposed to be. You know? Now, assuming that we have already created the pouch, just now 100 milligram is insufficient. So now we're putting a little bit more and now we are mixing both. You can mix it, no problem, no issue at all. Okay, now we have the little bulge that we need, right? The next thing is to get into the membrane. Now this membrane is a little bit too big. Now we have to wait another 5 minutes for the scissors. Interesting.
Scissors, please.
Can we have a scissors? Anybody got a scissors in the bag? Do we have a scissors? I think the nurse is going to kill me. They'll run up and down No, we don't sell those blocks. Those blocks are only available in the orthopedic clinics. Yeah, it's only in the ortho clinic. Yeah. The orthopedics are also using our product. They call it the, I can't remember, the osteo something, you know. That's for the spine surgery and also for the orthopedic surgical procedure. The orthopedics are using this because they call it the gold standard. I mean, the gold standard means I think the gold standard is always autogenous. There's no question about it. Yeah. But the gold standard for biomaterial made by human is definitely different. So the surgeons called it gold standard. Because that's the only thing that works, if you ask me. Thank you. I thought they gave me a surgical one. It ended up with the tailor one, alright? Okay, doesn't matter.
What's the resorption time of the collagen and the normal powder?
This one.
Bio-Oss versus Bio-Oss.
Bio-Oss doesn't, you mean the Bio-Oss collagen? There's no resorption. There's no absorption, resorption. It's just like Bio-Oss. There's no resorption. It stays there. And then it is then regenerated with bone bone. In between, you will see that crystallization when you open up after 3 months. You will see a lot of blood oozing out from the material. And at the same time, it integrates with the body. This is the beauty of it. The beauty. The real beauty of Bio-Oss. Now, the trick to handle the bio-guide, this is not in your book, you better learn it now. This is not in your book. Okay. Now, assuming that you are going to put the bio-guide, a lot of people will just dip it in raw. Don't ever do it. Right? I want you to place it there, like this. Alright, just place it there. Always take a gauze, wet it, tell the nurse to wet it, and pass to you, and then from there, you just gently place it. The adaptation. It stays where it's supposed to stay. And then you can switch it. You see how simple you manage the membrane? The moment you dip it inside, you are going to pull here, pull there, don't know where it's going. Look at this. It stays where it's supposed to stay. And then from there, you can close the flap. The beauty of the bio-guide. Alright?
Membrane resorption.
Membrane resorption, about 2 months. About 2 months, roughly. So it's enough. So you want to play with it? Come on. You want to play with the membrane? You can, yeah, you can play with that. You can feel, and the beauty, and the most important part of the membrane is easy to use. You can see it's very easy to use. And another characteristic of this membrane is, because I've done it, now you see how it adapts to the tissue, I mean to the bone. Yeah? Now I want you to see it. You can also stretch it. You don't see this characteristic in any other membrane. You don't see it. You can pull it, you can stretch it, you can manipulate with it, you can dab a little bit of water, and it goes according to the anatomy. This is the most important part. And with that, you have already protected the bone at the bottom during the healing phase. Am I clear with this issue? Alright, is there anything that you would like to ask? The king of the king, if you ask me, is this collagen. And it's the only product in the world, I dare to say in the world today, is like this. No other product, you don't see it. And therefore, this was selling like crazy until we don't have the stock. I remember there was 3 months we have no stock. Because there was a global search. The whole world is using it. They just couldn't cope up with the production. Anybody play with membranes before here? Play with membranes? But not a bioguide.
I've used BioGuide.
Yes, and you love it, right? You see the characteristic, right? It's just beautiful. Again, expensive? Yes, but it's the best. It's the best for you to use. You try to use other membranes, it will not give you this characteristic for sure. It's almost 1,000 ringgit one piece. The small one, this size, is about almost 920, something like that.
No lah, 800 plus.
Huh?
800.
Oh, 800 plus. You see, I don't even know the price. The 20 by 20, this size, how much is it? 20 by 20? 1,000, right?
900 plus.
Oh, 900 plus. I don't even know. Sorry. Wrong information. Right? But again, we have a lot of dentists using BioGuide. We have a lot of dentists using BioGuide in Malaysia. And I know of one dentist who have been using the BioGuide for the past 13 years. She's a specialist. She does a lot of regeneration, a lot of bone augmentation. And there was once she was asking me, Terence, you're out of stock for 20 by 20. I said, why don't you use 13 by 25? And this doctor replied a very interesting answer. He says, Terence, when you have a large augmented area, especially on the ridge or wherever you want, it's like a piece of baju. You don't cut the piece of baju, tampal. You need the whole flap to come down. She needs that. You cannot tampal a bit, cut, and it doesn't work. You need the whole piece to be stable, the grafting materials to be stable. So again, some people only buy 20 by 20. They would rather use that 20 by 20 because it costs maybe 100 ringgit more, but you get double. 120 ringgit more, something like that. But you get double. And some people, when they're doing augmentation, they would rather do this, and if they have access, they cut another half and they put it on the T-shaped design. You understand? Utilize to the maximum. So assuming that if we want, take for example over here, and it says alamat. So we have really opened up the whole, one piece. Say for example, I want to still continue to do an augmentation on this side. Actually, you can do two sides augmentation, You can do two sides. You can also do it on this side. Okay, I want you to, maybe you can try it. I want you to do it on a T-shaped design. Maybe I want you to do this, right? Over here, right?
Not over that way. Can we cut it smaller?
Can. You can play with it as long as your
It's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous, that's why.
yeah. So assuming you have opened a big flap, assuming we just want you to feel the material, and this is very important. Yeah. Yes. Actually, a lot of people were saying the sharp corners are going to interfere with the growth, but no, not really. On BioGuide, no. In other materials that are very hard and rigid, yes. But on the BioGuide, no, for sure. Now, then next thing to do is to wet the gauze completely and just dab and leave it there for 2 seconds exactly. Exactly. Just leave it there. No need to swipe it. Just leave it there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because the moment you start to manipulate and swipe or anything like that, the membrane runs around already. Like this, you know. Just once you have fixed that position, on top. Right? You see, because once it becomes a bit soft, it's quite hard to manage. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Now you can just dab on top. Just dab. Just leave it there. Leave it there. Alright. That's it.
But does it collapse into the defect because it is so soft?
What do you mean collapse into the defect? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. The rigidity of the reason is because the rigidity and the particle strength of this Bio-Oss is strong enough. It doesn't go straight down. It just leave it there. It's filled up already. It's a filler.
You saw, bro?
You see
Because it
how?
is so soft, I was thinking that it's collapsing. It's like a cluster.
It doesn't collapse. It doesn't collapse.
The collagen pericardium is stiff enough.
It is very stiff, like I say, it is very stiff. It is not some kind like very thin, what they call that membrane. This is relatively strong enough to hold that strength, you know, and this is the behavior of the BioGuide.
And then this rough side, the cotton woolly appearance is there, right?
The rough side is the collagen. That's where the fixed collagen is there.
On the other side.
On the other side. So the rough one must go down.
Yeah.
The top part of the pericardium must go up. And that is going to hold the strength within the resorption period of about 2 months. It's good enough for you to produce bone. It's good enough. All right. So you have seen and experienced. It stays to the anatomy exactly where it's supposed to be. Again, as I say, the most well-documented material are these two, the Bio-Oss material together with the collagen, Bio-Oss collagen and the BioGuide. Please feel it and feel it yourself. You have been working with some clinics, and some clinics in private sectors, they are using some kind of membrane. But again, you see for yourself how the behavior of this material. Look at that. It sticks like a plaster. Sticks like a plaster. Because they are a glue company, so they know how to stick things together.
Kenapa dia jatuh sendiri? Aku tak tahu.
One of the difference I find is usually other xenografts are very rounded.
Yeah, they don't have structure. They don't have the bone structure. This has the bone structure. They're either rounded up or they are like powder. It doesn't look like that. They don't have the right size, the granule, and the structure. That's the most important, the human structure. They imitate the bones. I don't know how they do it, but they somehow have it. You know? And that's why Bio-Oss stays like that. It's round. But if you look under the microscope, if you have a microscope, you see for yourself it's a human bone. This is the small granule. The granule of this size is about 0.5
Between the
to
line
1
here, this
mm.
corner.
We have the large granule for sinus leaf. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Thank you.